We live in a time frame where we lack a sense of urgency. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we always tend to hide behind the fact that the pieces need to be in order for us to work towards success. And that's very detrimental to the mindset because it allows you to actually start believing that that's the case and that's what needs to happen in order for you to get to working. And a lot of times it's just an illusion, if that makes sense. It's just your brain and other surrounding things or other people, surrounding people, influences, whatever you want to use, making you think that there needs to be a right moment in order for you to take action. And there's a lot of reasons why we usually don't take action or we think we need the pieces in order. And I'm going to talk about 3 right now. The first one is fear of failure. And I know a lot of you know what I mean by that when I say the fear of failure, because nobody likes to fail. And we live in a time period where if we feel as if we fail one time, that it's over. You know, that's the done deal. When that's really not the case. And it's been known by several companies and several people who have gained success that it's going to take a couple failures before you can get the success that you're looking for, right? The second one is a sense of perfectionism. First, I'm going to speak on that. A perfectionist is somebody who feels as if that anything that they do, it has to be to the utmost 100%. It has to be perfect, right? Which is said in the word perfectionism. But that could probably be a problem too because you're so busy thinking that everything needs to be perfect in line and order and that you need to do it in a set way that you ideally imagine it to be, that you don't take action or you don't get started right where you are right now. And that's bad because you're never going to have a perfect moment, right? Yes, you have an ideal way of doing it and you have an ideal way that you think that it should go, but that's not always how it's going to play out. Nothing's going to be as planned or go straight as planned, so you're just going to have to take action now and then make it to where it's getting planned better along as you're going with it. The last one that I want to speak on is a sense of being overwhelmed, if that makes sense. A lot of times when we think of all these things that we want to do, we think of it as such big, drastic things that it's going to be so hard to achieve or so hard to do that we don't take action because we're so overwhelmed by the fact that what we're doing or what we're thinking about doing, we just think it's impossible. And we just need to come back and just look at it from where we're at right now, not rushing and trying to think about where we're headed to. Like, yes, you want to still keep in mind where you're headed to, but just think about where you're at right now and the things that you need to be doing right now in order to get to where you're headed to without sitting there and imagining how much work is going to take, because it's going to take a lot of work regardless. But the more and more you dawn on how much work it's going to take, it's just going to stop you from, again, taking action. Lastly, there comes like a sense of being overwhelmed. And what I mean by that is that sometimes when we think about what we're trying to accomplish or the success that we're trying to gain, we think of like all the things that we have to do to get there, so we get overwhelmed by how much workload that we're looking at, when you're just looking at the workload bunched together when you should be separating it little by little. So what you can accomplish now, and then what comes next, and then after that, and then after that, breaking it into smaller pieces instead of looking at it as a whole, because when you look at it as a whole, that's when you start to get overwhelmed, and then that's when you procrastinate and you run away from it and you don't take action as you should. And another thing that we can start doing too is just look at the people who have success right now, who are known for being successful in this day and age, and just let's look back at their past lives and what they were doing back then or where they started from, because a lot of times they were just normal people just like us. For example, Steve Jobs, he started Apple in a garage, right? He didn't have all the pieces set. He didn't have a special office or something already built up to where he was making the things that he was trying to make. No, he started in a garage. J.K. Rowling, we know him for writing some of the best books, right? Writing Harry Potter, things of that sort. You know, Diary of the Wimpy Kid. He wrote Harry Potter while he was dealing with a lot of mental issues, right? Dealing with a lot of mental things that were messing with his brain. And he was still able to write a book or a series that a lot of people know now, you know, that is very famous now, that a lot of people like now, you know. Another person too is Elon Musk. We know who Elon Musk is, the creator of Tesla. He had started Tesla even when there was a lot of hardships and stuff, and SpaceX too. You know, he was dealing with a lot of hardships before when he was making Tesla, but he still got it done, right? He still made it happen. So a lot of times we just want to look back at those examples too to get us to keep pushing. So a lot of these times when we need a little bit of help, or when you think into yourself of, you know, the right time or waiting for the right time, just remember all these people that we known for being very successful and made a way for themselves. They didn't have it all figured out when they first started. What did they do when they to get it done, or what did they do to gain the success that they did now? All they did was just get started right where they were at. Now let's get into some things that can help you get started. first things first is accepting that there's not going to be perfect conditions, right? Conditions that you have right now is the ones that you're going to have to work with. Next thing you could do, right, it's on progress, not perfection, right? Because perfection is going to come with progress. The more and more you're working, and each and every time you're realizing that you're moving further along that you did last time, that perfection is going to come within just going forward and creating some progress. Also, break tasks into smaller manageable parts, right? So you're not working too hard at one period of time, or you're not getting burnt out, right? Just have a supportive environment. Have people around you that are going to push you and keep you going, that are going to tell you to get to working when you're not helping yourself, or when you're not working yourself, right? Because times when we can't be by ourselves, a group of people, or a group of like-minded individuals can help us out with it, right? But with that being said, that's all I really wanted to say for this topic. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments, and y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what y'all want me to talk about in the next video, man.